Hi, my name is Gwen Fisher, and I am pleased to have the opportunity to share with you my knowledge and a bit about the research related to job characteristics and later life cognitive functioning. By way of background, I am a professor in the psychology department at Colorado State University and also in the Colorado School of Public Health. At CSU, I direct the NIOSH Mountain and Plains Education and Research Center Occupational Health Psychology Training Program, and I'm also affiliated with the Center for Health Work and Environment, a NIOSH Center of Excellence in Total Worker Health. When I'm not working, I enjoy spending time with my family, my two boys, my partner, my dog, and enjoying many of the outdoors activities that Colorado has to offer. So what is cognitive functioning? Before we can talk about how job characteristics impact cognition, I just want to put us on the same page. Cognition is necessary for everyday functioning, everything from remembering where we put our glasses or keys to doing complex and more intense problem solving. Cognitive functioning is one of the key aspects of what has been defined as necessary for successful aging. It is something that changes over time, as I'll speak about a little bit later. And cognitive health and physical health often go hand in hand. So it is definitely related to physical health as well. There are two primary dimensions of cognitive functioning that have been described in the research as fluid and crystallized abilities. GF, or fluid abilities, pertain to information processing, reasoning, our ability to integrate or synthesize knowledge to solve problems, and importantly, to apply knowledge that we have to be able to solve novel problems. Crystallized intelligence, on the other hand, refers to knowledge or what we acquire through acculturation and experience across our life course. This slide shows how these two different types of cognitive abilities, fluid and crystallized intelligence, change across the lifespan. We develop our abilities in early life and into early adulthood, and then we see a distinction where fluid abilities tend to decline over time, whereas our knowledge tends to remain stable and might even increase as we get older. And if it does decrease as we get older, only usually a small bit. Those are the abilities that we tend to retain over age. There are three theories in the literature that describe how job characteristics affect cognitive functioning. The first and most common is the use it or lose it hypothesis, which conceptualizes the brain as a muscle that when we use it, we're able to retain it and strengthen it. And if we don't use it or use knowledge that we have, that we may lose it over time. Just an anecdotal example is the calculus that I took in high school and college is not something that I've used over the last 25 to 30 years. So I'll admit that I've lost that information and ability to use it in my everyday life. The second theory about how job characteristics may affect cognitive functioning is the brain or cognitive reserve hypothesis, which has been primarily written about in the neurology literature. And similar to the use it or lose it hypothesis, the belief is that through education and growth and exposure to novel situations and so forth, that our brain develops and changes. And the stronger that our brain is, the more we are able to sustain potential impacts, whether it is a neuronal injury or a larger brain injury, such as a traumatic brain injury. The third hypothesis about job characteristics affecting cognitive functioning is Schooler's work on environmental influences. And it's consistent, again, with the use it or lose it hypothesis that we acquire information from our environment and through our education. There are 6 primary job characteristics that have been shown to be related to cognitive functioning. These include job complexity or mental work demands, autonomy, feedback, task variety or skill variety in the work that we do, learning, and also work stress. The majority of the literature in terms of how job characteristics impact cognitive functioning has focused on cognitive job complexity or mental work demands, and quite simply found that the more our work is complex and we're involved in solving difficult things and using our brain quite a bit at work over the lifespan in our occupation, the better off our cognitive status will be, not only in as we become older adults, but even after retirement and even when we are no longer working. So there seems to even be some empirical evidence of a protective effect for being involved in mentally demanding work. Having autonomy over our work gives us opportunities for problem solving and using our brain to figure out what to do and how to go about doing our work. So research is showing that autonomy is also beneficial for our cognition, and it's consistent with other occupational health literature that really points to autonomy being beneficial in general for our well-being. Feedback is pretty obvious. Through feedback, we're able to learn. And from learning, we're able to improve our brain and our functioning as well as do better at the tasks we're doing. Similarly, being exposed to variety at work, variety being the spice of life, gives us an opportunity to try new things, and consistent with fluid abilities, it's applying knowledge and being able to solve things and just have new situations through that variety rather than doing repetitive work where we may not be challenged much. And learning, very self-explanatory. By learning more, we build our crystallized abilities and can support our cognitive functioning in positive ways. Work stress is, there hasn't been a lot of research that is focused on work stress and cognition, but drawing from other cognitive aging literature that is focused on stress in general, such as work by Marty Slowinski and Rob Stosky, points to the notion that stress creates situations where we have difficulty with our attentional demands, we may experience cognitive interference, and in short, stress is not good for our brain. And work that I've done with Ross Andel and others point to deleterious effects of job strain. So this has implications in terms of person-environment fit and helping a worker find the best work environment for doing their job, implications for designing and structuring work with primary prevention so that we can have healthy work and support cognitive aging, the notion of career counseling to help people find work that is beneficial for them, and also total worker health as we think about cognitive health as an important aspect of our health overall. Here are two other papers that my colleagues and I have published on this topic. I barely had time to get into detail on any of this, but if you are interested in reading more, I refer you to these papers. Thank you so much for your time and attention.